Oh yes, this is the Hardcore Marketing Show. I'm Casey Cheshire, your host for this epic journey. Today's show is sponsored by Ringmaster, on a mission to launch B2B podcasts that create relationships, generate revenue, and drive growth. Ringmasterlive.com. Bam. Okay, cool. Hey, I hit the button, the magic scary red button that launches the roller coaster. Here we go. We're about to have a freaking cool conversation. I can't wait for you to hear my guest today. She's an absolute badass. Well, who is she, Casey? Who is she? What does she do? Tell me more about her. Marketing leader, thought leader, social influencer. You don't even know. Wait till you find out. Electrical engineer, coder, creator, runner, 4 fulls, 28 half marathons. What is going on? Gold and silver medalist for the USA people in the North American Caribbean Masters Tournament. Let's go. Cross country, road races, you name it. Believe it or not, 36,000 YouTube subscribers. Have I got your attention? Vice President of Marketing at Wasiga, Caroline Dunn. Welcome to the show.
Hello, and thank you for having me on the show today. I'm super stoked about this.
Oh my gosh, how do you have time to do half of the things that I just rambled through?
I do not. Yes, I work out every day. Every morning before I go to work, I get up at 5 a.m. every day to do my workout and then come to work.
Hell yeah. Do you like how? Okay, that's a rabbit. I'm gonna go down that. But okay, first things first. I gotta pass you this thing. It's heavy, but since you work out every day, we don't have to worry about it. So hold on a second. Here it is. Okay. All right. Here you go. Thor's hammer. Go ahead and grab that.
Okay, yeah, I got it. All right, you see, I got it. Look at me.
You got it.
You see it?
All right.
I made one. I made this.
It's magically transmuted. It's beautiful. Take that Thor's hammer that you have magically on your side of the video and smash for me some kind of marketing myth, bogus strategy, misconception. Set the record straight once and for all.
The marketing myth I'm going to smash today is that robots are going to take over the world and we're all going to lose our jobs because of AI.
Oh my God, we are?
We're not. No.
We're not?
No.
They're not going to take over the world?
No, absolutely not.
And how do you know this? Did one tell you? Did ChatGPT tell you? Like, how do you know this?
I have 2 degrees in electrical engineering from Georgia Tech. I got to go to the number 3 school in the nation. Okay. Yeah. And computers are dumb and they do what we tell them to. And I've only been doing artificial intelligence has only existed since the 1950s. Okay. So me, the young'un I am, I've only been practicing this for the last 25 years. And no, they're not taking over the world. They read your code line by line. And that they don't really think for themselves. So no, they're not taking over the world. Yes, there are people like me out there. You can use your powers for good. You can use your powers for evil. So I can program a computer to do something really bad, or I can program it to do something good. Fortunately, I've been taught to only use my powers for good.
Okay, well, first we need to understand what powers for evil you are capable of, and then we'll go to the good side. So what's the nastiest thing you could create on a computer?
I've not done anything evil now on a computer. So we're talking about AI, and 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, I published facial recognition on a child's computer, on a STEM computer, a computer that I bought for $75 for children. I did facial recognition on it. I did a full tutorial published on Tom's Hardware, the #1 online magazine for PC reviews in the world. I published that almost 4 years ago, like how to do facial recognition at home with a very cheap computer.
Okay.
I put a disclaimer on it, and I was like, hey, if there are laws, don't use this for nefarious purposes.
Right. This is not a flamethrower. Don't use this report. Okay. And then what about for good? That, by the way, I spent all last night just trying to get my son's iPod to like actually turn on. It was iPod unavailable. Well, thank you for being unavailable. Can you please be available? And yeah, we had to beat it up. And I can't tell you, like if I did the dollar cost averaging of the time I spent like IT troubleshooting this broken iPod, but it's fixed. It's fixed now. But yeah, okay. So computers are dumb. They're not going to take over the world, but we can use these powers for good. Tell me more.
Well, let's segue into, is it going to take away our jobs? And we have been fighting this. I started my career in the automotive industry, in the working at the General Motors plant. And back then, we thought that robots were going to take over the world and that we weren't going to need people to make cars anymore. The cars were just going to assemble themselves. Okay, it's been 25 years. The cars are not assembling themselves. There's still car plants everywhere. If not, there are more car plants than there were 25 years ago. And the work got easier, like the physical tasks of assembling the car got easier, and the machinery got stronger. But there's still people, and they assemble cars for a living, and they still do that to this day. Nothing has changed. I think it's a retooling. I think it's important for marketers to understand how to use artificial intelligence, how to use technology, work smarter, not harder. And for me, as vice president, as the leader of the marketing organization here at Wasiga, I want to hire somebody who understands how to use the technology and who isn't afraid. I don't need somebody saying, oh my God, technology, woe is me, and I'm not going to learn it. I need you to embrace it and put out more articles, put out more output, create better content, and use that tool to your advantage. So this is a retooling, not a we're all going to lose our jobs. There are going to be more jobs at the end of the day of people who know how to use the technology.
You just can't fight it. You got to experiment with it, right? See what happens.
You got to learn. You got to be curious. You got to learn. And you could be self-taught. You don't need fancy degrees. Okay. That's the magic of technology. It's an equalizer. So, a million years ago, you needed $500,000 for a computer. Now you need $35 for a Raspberry Pi. And you can learn technology. You can learn how to code on a $35 computer now. It is an equalizer. If you know the technology and you have $35, boom, you can learn it just as good as somebody who had everything just handed to them, got to go to the number 3 school in the nation,
I love that. Now you can get it for a Khan Academy subscription and you're good.
Exactly. I mean, there are all these certifications you can do now. So you don't even have to have a college degree. Yeah. So it's technology is a great equalizer. We all have it in our hand. We have our phones. So we're not afraid of our phones, are we?
No, certainly not. Afraid of dropping them maybe, but that's about it, right?
I remember when we used to be afraid of our phones, and now we're like embracing it. So that's where AI is going to go. That's where this is going to go. We need to learn it, and you are better off in your job search if you know it and you embrace it and you're not afraid of it. And you're like, hey, let me show you how I can do twice as much work as the other guy interviewing for this same job. I'm going to have twice as much output because I know technology. What is that not a sales presentation or what? Hire me. I can do it twice as fast because I have this $35 computer here and I'm going to do facial rec on it.
Yes. Like apply right now for sure. We will hire you for Monday. Yeah. It's funny. Just the idea of just, stepping up and learning and experimenting and the self-teaching. Where do you think people should start? If they want to, they're like, okay, you convinced me. I need to embrace this. I want to be that candidate that said that, or I want to retool and leverage this stuff. What's a good?
I think first of all, I think you just have to be curious. That would be number one. Replace your fear with curiosity. Just like fear, just cross it off, just throw it away, and then replace it with the word curious. I wonder what I can do. I wonder. There is some people say this to me all the time, and I'm biased. But have you heard of YouTube University? It's completely free. And I say that I'm totally biased. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got 37,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Wait, it's 27 now.
I just crossed over to 37,000 subscribers. I'm at Caroline at YouTube. It's just my first name. If you want to see the stuff I'm putting out, but I'm not even asking you to watch my videos. Okay, there's just a ton of. You can go on YouTube, type in "How do I learn ChatGPT?" What can I do with ChatGPT? You can type in a problem that you're having. Okay, I don't know this. How do I do this? How to do that? And YouTube will serve you up a video that will show you exactly how to do whatever you're looking for.
Yeah. So, and I want to go down the tangent with you. I would definitely want to go down the YouTube tangent. Do you, before we get to that, on the AI side, do you have a particular favorite? Because we got some Gemini and you got ChatGPT and all this. Do you have a favorite friend?
I don't believe in favorites. Okay, so I believe in just trying stuff out until everybody's different. Everybody's you're kind of in your groove. Like some things are just more intuitive to you. So I looked at ChatGPT, and I would say 90% of my friends would probably disagree with me. I looked at ChatGPT and went like, wow, this is totally intuitive. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this. Oh, okay. Can it do that? And I just started having a conversation with it one day. And I like to say, some people are like, well, ChatGPT kind of learns from you, blah, blah, blah. I like to say I have a cat and she has trained me well. Okay. And ChatGPT kind of trained me as well. I was like, okay, I experimented. I tried a couple of things and I'm like, like I do this. And I kind of learned just through trial and error, I've learned a lot of nuances.
Tell me. Because, there's a lot of YouTube videos are like 30 nuances of ChatGPT and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't listen to this whole video.
Okay. Dead easy. Okay. Number one, dead easy. Okay. You don't have to know anything for this. Okay. ChatGPT. I write my own content. Okay, so I am full of content. I've got lots of things to think about, say.
Write your own content, aka ChatGPT?
No. I write a first draft, or I write my own content. I write my idea, and then I'll go to ChatGPT and just rewrite for an email, rewrite for a case study, rewrite for, or just the word. Hey, I don't like my phrasing. This was just a first draft. It's like some of my writing is like first drafts are kind of awkward sometimes when you're writing. So so if you don't want to learn anything, if you know nothing, just type in the word rewrite dash, and then a sentence. One sentence. Think of a sentence think of something you want to say, and then hit enter. So sometimes the prompt is as simple as just the word rewrite and then copying and pasting whatever thing you want to say.
Yeah. It almost seems like there's like infinite possibilities.
We can't get lost in that people get overwhelmed. They're like, oh my God, it's infinite. No, it's not infinite, y'all. It's
back to the original point, right?
Okay, I need to write an email, and I want to write it like just right before this call. I was thinking, okay, I want to write a FOMO email. I want people to fear missing out on this event that I'm having. So I drafted up some, hey, some people missed out on this last year and they were really sad. So I typed up some FOMO stuff, or, just wrote.
Did you make it, I don't say dumb, but like that awkward, like you were saying, the awkward draft where you're like, people missed out and it, like you didn't spend time trying to make it beautiful.
No, it was just a first off the cuff draft. And I went to ChatGPT and I said, rewrite this FOMO email for me. And I gave it a couple sentences. It wrote an entire email for me with the subject line and everything.
One time I gave it one of my personality test results of like, hey, this is me. This is how I learn. Like, base your answer based on what this usually tells you. And it did. And it was like, oh, okay, you like shorter answers and you like them. But yeah, I prefer short answers. So I'm almost always telling it like, hey, give me the bottom line, and then if I want more info.
Yeah. You could type the word shorter and it will just give you the same thing, but in a short. So everybody's like all like trying to learn these really complicated prompts, or talking about prompt engineering, or, they're making this more complicated than it really is. The word rewrite, you want to rewrite something, rewrite. You want their answer to be shorter or longer, you can type in the word shorter. You can even say, all right, rewrite this into 50 words or less. You got to come up with a company summary, and your boss, gave you 3 pages. just all right, shorten this to 50 words or less. Thank you very much, and it will. Rewrite as a Russian professor. Yeah, I mean, whatever. So, like, it's just keep it really simple.
You know, that is so refreshing to hear because you definitely get the overwhelming like this. Like I was saying like it does everything and oh my gosh, what is the special prompt that does this? You're like, no, just give it a word, see what you get. How do you use this on your YouTube channel? Do you like use that to help you with any of that, or like titles, or like make this more click worthy, or help me get more hits, or anything like that?
Last year I had to do a promo video to promote one of the organizations that I'm in, and I'm an
Oh, cool.
ambassador for Peak Community, and
Yeah, shout out to Peak.
and then I did like an awkward first draft of what Peak was about, and I wrote, hey ChatGPT, I need to make a promotional ambassador video for Peak, so write a script for me that I can read on that I can make for YouTube. And it took all my information and it just laid it out really nicely. I copied and pasted it into my I have a teleprompter. Copied and pasted it into my teleprompter and just read it. Hi, my name is Caroline, and then it just read the whole thing, and it looked really natural. It looked like I was really smart. It made me, yeah. All I did was read from a teleprompter, and boom, it was my Peak video was done. It can write a total script for you. It can give you ideas for some B-roll, to cut in the script. I also use it for if I write a script, then I'll use it. Say, okay, write a YouTube description for me. And because you've got to have a good title and you can say, yeah, give me a title or give me 5 titles to choose from and here's my script for this video. And then you can say, yeah, write a description for me with these keywords that I'm trying to hit for this YouTube video, and it will absolutely do that. And then yeah, you of course it's you want your voice, you still want it to be you. So I will edit it to be more of the words that I would personally choose, or some of the phrasings I'm kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't really say that, or that's not really my subscribers know me. Like, no, I'm not. I don't say things
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
like, what the hell is
Yeah,
that?
so I do modify it, I do edit it, but it's kind of that middle editor for me. I do the first draft. It kind of moves me along, cleans up the language, fixes my typos. That's really good too. And then I kind of re-edit it, and sometimes we just kind of go back and forth.
I do like the back and forth, like the conversation of like, what about this? Last night I needed to go get some eye drops for someone in the family, right? And wouldn't you know, there's different kinds of eye drops, and I had no idea. All I knew was go get some Visine. Guess what? They didn't have Visine. So, okay, what do I do? So I was like, what's exactly in Visine? It's like, well, there's this stuff. And like, well, what about this other stuff I'm seeing on these other bottles? Like, well, that's what this does. And then sure enough, we found a bottle together that had both of those things in it, and it did the trick, and eyes are all better now. But it was like, I would have been lost going like, well, shit, there's no Visine. What do I do? And the back and forth really was like, it doesn't have to be a one hit answer. It can be like, okay, well, tell me more about that. What about this? What about that? It will work or walk into the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I'll just start off with an idea, and then it kind of comes back like, and then I'll be like, well, I need to add this, to it. I want to make this point, add that to it, and it kind of works it all in and kind of organizes things for me. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that works, or that doesn't work. And, hey, so yeah, we go through several edits, and it just speeds up my editing process. So I could do the same thing. I did this myself for many years, but this is just speeding it up. So, like for a lot of content, it's about cadence or putting out a lot of, you're trying to hit a cadence. And so, instead of now I can do twice a week, or, instead of once a month, I can put out content twice a month or once a week, or, it just improves that cadence. It's still me, still my content. It just took me longer to do it before.
Do you pay for it? Do you pay for like the ChatGPT 4.0?
Yeah. The $20 a month. Yes.
Do you find it different than the unpaid version?
I used the unpaid version at the very, very beginning and tested it out, and honestly, I liked it better. I liked the 3.5 better. It didn't pull from the internet, it was just a straight up, rewrite. But I thought the writing was better on 3.5. So if you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. Okay, absolutely. I liked how the 3.5 kind of just rewrote stuff. The difference is the 4.0 or the 4, whatever. Now that they have it kind of knows more stuff about the world, and so you don't have to feed it quite as much information.
I found with math, it was way better, but I didn't notice the writing, but that's interesting. I noticed though with the 4, if I asked it a weird math question, like what do you think is the chance that this could actually happen? And like, could you calculate that? 3.5 would be like, well, there are a lot of factors, so
It depends. You got it depends.
right. And then 4.0 will be like, well, there are a lot of factors, but let me just take a stab at it anyways and tell you what I think I could get to, and it gets to an actual percentage. I'm like, okay,
I don't like that.
all right.
I don't know about that.
I like it. Well, quick question: what's it bad at?
Ooh, good question. I like that. It is bad at really obscure facts. Okay, so I saw one guy post saying ChatGPT is terrible, never ever use it. He had self-published a book on Amazon, like he didn't have a publisher, like he had paid to publish this himself, and he uploaded it to Amazon, and then nobody read it. It was a terrible book. And then he asked ChatGPT about it and didn't know anything about his book, his very obscure book that nobody had ever read and was really bad. And it was like, well, ChatGPT doesn't know about my book and can't summarize my book. This is crap. And I'm like, nobody's read your book, okay? It's not just ChatGPT. So yeah, the more obscure you're asking a question, it's not going to know. It's more just mainstream stuff. And so it's the killer app for marketers, especially marketers who are just, talking about things that we all talk about, the B2C marketers, that, the ones that can really relate. That is great. If you're trying to cheat on your calculus 5 homework, yeah, I don't know. If you're in graduate level physics, no, I don't think it's going to do your homework for you. Sorry. You're still going to have to learn about physics.
Yeah, with the daughter's math homework, every now and then you get that. I've heard 20%, 10%. It'll say something wacky, and you go, wait a minute, and you ask it, and you go, is that for real? Yeah, and he goes, no, I'm sorry, my bad. That's not real. It's not real. It's like,
it likes to guess, yes, and it usually guesses wrong.
yeah, maybe they can have a version where you pay like $5 more, and it'll check its own answer before it gives it to you. That might be kind of nice. But yeah. So obscure things, math. Crazy math,
physics, AP level, electrical engineering for sure. My job's very safe. So
yeah, don't ask it to balance any bridge requirements or voltage in a circuit. No, we'll just leave that to. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, in the domain of marketing, as long as we're not talking about facts in our marketing, we're not talking about product specs, then I suppose it's fair game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And when in doubt, still read it and proofread it, make sure it's not crazy.
Absolutely. Always fact check.
Well, can I shift a little bit?
Yeah.
So we were chatting and you were like, yeah, I got a YouTube channel. Somehow it came out that you had 26 at the time, now 27.
37,000.
37?
Yeah, 37,000 subscribers. YouTube.com/Caroline.
Okay, 37,000. Mm-hmm. Talk me through that. Like, where does that come from? What was the idea for that? And did you wake up the next day magically and you had 37,000, or how'd that go?
No, it took forever. It started off as a crafting channel. I showed people how to make Christmas crafts, how to make a reindeer, cork ornament reindeer. So it started off as that. And then I was like, wow, I need to make videos that are electrical engineering related. I need to make videos that I'm willing to show people. And I was like, well, I'm on a budget. So let's see, what's the cheapest thing I can do? All right, there's this computer for $35. All right, we're going to start doing projects with a $35 computer. And, at the end of the day, I'm trying to make technology accessible to everybody. I have an agenda to create equity in technology. So
Yeah.
So do you need a bunch of expensive stuff to watch my channel? Should you? No, absolutely not. So I show you how to do projects with like really cheap stuff, that you can buy for $10 on Amazon. Like I was like, I need to water this plant. I'm a plant killer. I was like, how am I going to do this?
Me too.
I can get this chip. I can get a pump. I can do this. I was like, how can I do this really cheap? So that was one of my projects, was to water my plant. I was like, I'm solving a problem. People kill plants. Okay. So I am helping the plants of the world now. Okay. Through cheap technology.
So is this just like, you're like, I wonder how to do this. Let me look into it. And then let me just tell people the adventure, or tell them the final result once I figure out how to do it?
I have a problem, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. And then I figure out how to do it. And then I go through a step by step, like painfully, like plug it in. Then you're going to, type this, then type that letter, and then do this. And then you're going to put the this in your plant, and then you're going to have the sensor, and then you're going to then you're going to do this with the sensor, blah blah blah, step by step, so they can do the project themselves at home.
The videos you make, or is that your own curiosity, and how much of that is like, well, this would totally be popular and people would totally want to watch this?
It's all I've wondered how to do this. Yes, I've always wondered how to do a popular video. No, that's isn't it? If it was that easy for somebody to just tell me, okay, this would be a popular video, you should make it. Oh, definitely, I would totally do that. If I had, if that was just, if the Holy Grail was just handed down to me, I'd be like, sure, yeah, let's do that.
So like your most popular video that I can see, what you must have bought an LG TV, and you're like, I gotta hook this up to Alexa. Was it initially hard? You're like, damn, this shit is hard. If I'm this challenged by it, I'm sure 471,000 other people are too. Or
Actually, that was the opposite. I needed to buy a new TV. Okay, my TV broke, and I was like, I looked at TVs, and I was like, okay, I need a TV that I can expense, that I can legitimately say, okay, I bought this for business purposes, but really, I just needed a TV. So I bought the TV. It was actually really easy to set up, but people have trouble doing that. And I was like, I'm just going to film myself as I am setting up this TV. And shockingly, people watch this. I guess people watch a lot of TV. I don't know why people are watching that video. It was, if you really watch it really closely, my cat is like wandering in the background while I'm trying to make this video. I'm like, get away, cat, get away. I'm like, I'm making a video here, so it was just me setting up my TV.
yeah, and like, did it quickly become like super popular and like blow your mind? Like, wow, close to 500,000 people have watched me set up my LG TV.
There actually there's actually a sister video to that video. There's one for Google, there's one for Alexa. Each of them have 400,000 views.
Yeah.
So that TV has been seen more than almost like 1 million times.
Do you like clean your room before you film? Because you're like, oh my God, everyone's coming over to see my house. Let's make sure it looks regular back here.
I'm sitting on my coffee table to make that video.
Yeah. All right. So it's started out as fun. Is it still fun, or is like money kicked in and now it's like a job thing?
Well, it's still fun, okay? And now it's more fun because now I can say the things I want to say on my channel. Like I'm less concerned about, are people going to watch this, or am I going to offend somebody? It's more like, all right, I've got a great platform. I want to talk about equity in technology. I want to talk about women in technology, and so that's what I'm using it for. I'm using it for my agendas, with talking about technology and how it should be more accessible, and how women should be. There are opportunities for women in technology.
Yeah, that's cool. And I was just scrolling through like. By the way, how was the Panama Canal? Because that was really cool. I'm totally gonna watch.
And then now I'm publishing like my vacation videos, and I'm publishing.
Yeah.
Like I can. Yeah, I'm like, I went skiing. I'm like, I'm gonna publish a video about my skiing. Yeah, this is fun. So now it's more fun because it's like, okay, I'm just gonna publish what I want to publish now.
It's funny. you do all that, and then still like the how to set up a robot vacuum cleaner still gets 20,000 views.
Well, that's because it's based on keyword searches. Okay, it's because I understand the SEO game, right? So people want to know how to set up a vacuum cleaner, and they type it in, and then my video, comes up. And so people don't type in, how did Caroline enjoy the Panama Canal? Unfortunately, so that's not as popular a video.
Do you see it as kind of like a one big giant marketing lab where you're like learning, you're having fun, but then you're like learning?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So, the one of the rules in marketing is experiment. Well,
Yeah.
I have done a lot of experiments.
Yeah, you have.
Yes. And so, yeah, it's helped me understand the SEO game. It's helped me be a better marketer. And
Yeah.
now, because I have so many subscribers, YouTube has special programs for people with a certain number of subscribers, and we are invited to exclusive events, and they have webinars for us. They have all sorts of resources for us. They kind of open the kimono. They kind of tell you, all right, here's what's popular now, here's what's trending. So they do give you some more behind the scenes stats than you would as a regular YouTuber. So that's been really nice. So it helps me be a better marketer, because I'm like, okay, here's what's, because being a marketer is about what's hot and what's not. And now I have a better understanding of that thanks to YouTube just, telling me.
What would you say is one of the biggest lessons you've taken from all those experiments that you've applied to a Sega or, in more of the corporate world?
Oh, there is a ton.
Yeah. Or what are the top
Number one is cadence.
cadence?
Cadence, yes. It is people are creatures of habit, and that's true for B2B or B2C. You see, you buy things as a consumer, you tend to buy the same thing every year at the same time. And that's true
Yeah.
for B2B too. Their budgets are cyclical. Their budgets, like, okay, now here's the start of the budget, and now they're going to make these big B2B buys right now. And so I need to time my marketing to hit you at the right time.
And I guess that's where the magic is figuring out what is the right time.
Yes. Fortunately to YouTube, I can just see that. I can look on my analytics and be like, all right, that's the time.
You're right.
So, but as a B2B marketer, yeah, you've got to understand those budget cycles, and when they start doing the research on their decisions, and then when they, start finalizing those decisions.
All right. Well, my next question is kind of a shift, but like, who are you? Who are you? How do you know all these things? Can you take me back in time? Little Caroline days, did you know you're going to literally be like a YouTube star and a marketing leader and a runner? And like, what was it like being you?
I was a lot different when I was younger. All right, yeah. So, I was an engineer. I was a lot different. So I did a bachelor's and master's degree in electrical engineering. I thought I was set, and I thought I was going to have this really great electrical engineering career. That was my plan. Unfortunately, that did not work out for me, obviously. I was not athletic when I was younger either, so I never ran track when I was in school. So I wasn't one of the popular kids. I mean, I just was this different person. So
Yeah.
so yeah, my electrical engineering thing, I was like, wow, this is a really boring job. I want to do something more creative with my life. I want to make the world a more beautiful place. I want to marry, technology and marketing together. So the biggest problem I saw after, as I'm doing this electrical engineering degrees stuff, was I was like, wow, I can invent really cool stuff, and that's fun. I was like, but nobody knows what I'm doing, because none of us can explain what we make or what we do. I was like, somebody's got to, like, be some sort of translator. Somebody's got to be like the front man for this electrical engineering thing. Okay. I was like, and I love art, and I was like, okay, I just need to learn how to communicate better.
No big deal. Super nerd, EE, just needs to communicate
I
better.
need to learn. I need to communicate better, and I need to just get out of my comfort zone. Yeah. So then, I was like, okay, I need to be more open. I'm gonna learn how to do different things. I learned how to dance. I ended up dancing in Super Bowl 34. I'm a former Super Bowl.
What?
Yes, I did. I auditioned, and I was like, I learned how to dance, and then I auditioned, and then I was
Like
in the
it's a
Super
halftime
Bowl.
show?
No, the pregame show when it was in Atlanta. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, well, I didn't run. I was like, I'm gonna start running. And then And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna, work really hard at this and be better at it. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna, start doing things outside my comfort zone. So that was really kind of the thing was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm out of school, I'm out of my parents' house. I need to just do the things I was never comfortable with and just see how it works.
Yeah.
E- Experience life.
Did you approach it like an engineer too, where you're like, okay, I'm deficient in these areas, and for me, in order to achieve maximum life effectiveness, I need to, come up with a list and then execute that? Or is it sort of more of,
No, it's more the universe, I'm like, yeah, it's more, hey, oh, this opportunity came up and I would be stupid to turn it down. Okay, the engineer in me would turn it down, but now that I'm supposed to be, more fun and open, all right, we're gonna try this and I'm gonna suck at it, but hey, at least I gave it a shot.
wow. Well, I find that it's such a trend. It's such a thing with marketing is that if only we could just be logical minded, but we always have that creative side that brings us to marketing, because there is the analytical side and there's the creative side, and they're like always battling inside of who's in
I
control.
don't believe in the battle. I believe in the marriage. I believe in the combination. I think I think it's not a battle. I think it's you're stronger together.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Leverage them together. And then who knows what can happen. Okay. So Shania Wasiga, what do you do? What do you guys do?
We make PA systems, public address systems for schools and warehouses. So in the morning, your principal gets on the PA system and starts making those morning announcements. You say the Pledge of Allegiance, that sort of thing. That's we make the equipment and the software behind it so that the principal can make his or her morning announcements in the morning. Unfortunately, it's also the same system you use when you have a school lockdown.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's important. But I will say, I feel like every school needs to upgrade their system, because I definitely recall hearing like, Mrs. Sutter, could you send Kirsty to the office? It's like, what is she even saying? Something about sending me to the office. Like, okay, I guess I'll go.
I bet you got sent to the front office a lot. Go to the principal's office. Casey, go to the principal's office. Again? Again? Oh, well, I couldn't really hear what they said, so I'm just going to assume it's Casey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the only time I got detention in high school was because I was taking my AP computer science test, and I didn't know the answer to one of the questions. So I drew a scene of a mountain lake with trees and a deer sipping water at the lake. And I did put my AP stickers on my eyebrows like I was anime. And I basically disrupted the entire test. So that I got in trouble for that. But other than that, I was a pretty good kid.
Okay, sure, I believe you.
So how did do you remember when you sort of like first shucked off the super nerd cape and were like you started to reintroduce yourself into civilization? Because EE and going all the way to the masters with that, you're doing some math. I mean, you mentioned Calc 7. I hate Calc, and I did way too much math doing computer science, and yeah, I'm still scarred and traumatized by all the math. So do you remember though, like that transition you made to sort of embracing the full you?
Well, I remember going to the Super Bowl tryout, and yeah, I got an email. It was like, hey, we're holding tryouts to dance in the Super Bowl, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll go try out to be in the Super Bowl. What the hell, right? So, and then I get there, and it's partner dancing, and I don't know anybody there, and I don't have a partner, and I am sitting there just frozen like a statue. I don't talk to anybody. I just sit on the chair and I don't. I am mortified. I was like, I went to a partner dancing competition without a partner. I was like, this was not my best idea.
Well, I could, and they could have made that one more obvious in the email, obviously. Yeah.
No, I know. I knew that in the email.
Oh,
I was just like, but I want it.
you're like, what could happen?
I was just like, okay, I will figure it out when I get there. But I got there and I didn't know anybody. And I am completely frozen. I am completely petrified. And I'm just sitting in a chair. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking I'm just not going to get into. I'm just not going to audition. I'm just going to sit here and watch the audition. Is what I'm just going to try to evaporate. I'm just going to try to be invisible. I did not have a plan. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is the worst feeling in the world. I'm an engineer. I'm socially awkward. Okay, so I can't talk to anybody.
Right.
So yeah, eventually somebody without a partner comes up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to do this audition?" And I go, "Yes." And we run out there, and fortunately, I knew how to do the dance, and we rock.
What was it?
It was jitterbug swing dance competition. Yeah, so I did know how to do that. I did have a partner. I had a falling out with my partner. He ended up moving to California. That's why I didn't have a partner. So I had learned with a partner, but we had a falling out. He moved to California, and then I was left without a partner. And then I was like, but I knew how to do the dance. Well, I knew to do my side of the dance. And then so we ran out there, did the dance, rocked the audition, and we got an email, and it was like, all right, you're in.
Dang. I mean, sometimes you just got to put yourself out there, huh? Just like.
Yeah. And so I started meeting these people that weren't like the type of people I was used to hanging out with. And I was like, they're kind of cool. Okay. All right. I could get, I kind of like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to pretend. I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm just going to like, okay, they're cool. They do that. I can be cool too. And so I faked an entire week we had a week of rehearsals. I faked an entire week of rehearsals of trying to be cool, of trying not to act like an engineer.
Was that hard?
It's like, I'm mortified just at the audition. Okay, I didn't say anything at the audition, and then now I've got to spend a week with these people. And the rehearsals are 5 to 6 to 8 hours a day.
What? Did you get paid for this?
No. Actually, I didn't. No, I did not get paid for this either.
What?
Yes. So yeah, so I spend 5 hours a day dancing.
Dang.
Yes, and I'm like, and I don't know these people, and I don't know. And this whole dance world, there's this whole hierarchy, and like some people are more important than others. Of course, was at the very bottom. Okay, I was the least important person there, and they tell you what to do, and you have to do it. And I was so mortified the whole week. Yes. But I was like, okay, well, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to learn the dance. I'm going to do what they tell me to do. That's all I have to do. I don't have to think. I don't have to, I don't have to come up with the dance myself. It's all choreographed. There's somebody gets paid to choreograph.
Right.
It's like, I'm just going to do this. And I did it, and I pulled it off.
Dang.
Yes. And that was kind of the beginning of, oh my God, like, okay, I don't know how to do something, but, I'm going to learn. And I'm going to act cool while I'm at it.
I'm gonna be cool, and I'm gonna videotape it, and hundreds of thousands of people are gonna learn how to connect their Alexa. Thanks to me. It's crazy cool. Okay, bit of a hypothetical question for you, because you see, I may or may not have a time machine here in New Hampshire. So next time you're in the Boston area, come visit. We use the time machine. It's pretty cool, and it's under a tarp in the backyard.
Is there a flux capacitor?
I can't confirm that. There might be, but it might be just decoration. So we use this time machine. And it's particular. You get to go back in time and meet yourself 4 days after graduating with your undergrad degree. And you get to talk to that version of you, that Caroline. What do you say to yourself? What kind of advice do you give yourself?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't do that master's degree. You're never going to use it. So
yeah,
honestly, yes, I would not. But I would say to myself, hey, you get to do what you want to do now that you're graduating. So, live your best life.
Love it.
So, I mean, you're going to have a huge advantage because, you've got that technical background. And I also tell myself, hey, none of your friends are going to practice electrical engineering either. You all went to school together, and none of us are doing electrical engineering.
I wonder, is that just like a thing you just do, and then you realize, yeah, no, not doing it?
We just did it to get to the next big thing, and so we all did MBAs afterwards. I did not know. I mean, you're going to have to go out and do an MBA. Oh, there's more school,
Oh,
Yes.
It's not enough to get your EE and EE masters. You got to go get a business degree now.
Yes.
Damn. What comes after that? More? There more school after that?
It was, now you can follow your dreams, and But for advice to people coming out of school now, like, hey, you're 18 or you're 21 or whatever, you don't know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. You don't know how this is going to work. But technology is going to be a thing, and you've got to embrace it. That's what I would say.
Embrace it. I love it. Love it. Where can people reach out to you if they want to connect with you, check out the channel? Where are the places they should go?
So if you want to see my YouTube channel, I'm youtube.com/Caroline. It's just my first name. My handle is @Caroline on YouTube. And then the other thing I would say is LinkedIn. So look me up on LinkedIn. I'm Caroline Dunn on LinkedIn.
Hell yeah. We will link to all of that in the show notes. People can just kind of clickety-click right through.
Right. Awesome.
Not have to type anything. Thank you so much for coming on here and just like sharing stories and schooling me up on AI and retooling and keeping it simple and not stressing over the details on it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. You're a great host. Like you kept this flowing. So, like I didn't have to be totally mortified on the show. So thank you.
Well, computer science to electrical engineering, we have a technical background that we can relate to and run away from them so we can go deal with people, which is what we really love, or at least what I really love. So yeah, this has been cool. Those listening, if you learned something, and I freaking know you did, because I literally have 2 pages of notes over here, front and back, then share this with someone else and tag us. Tell us what was your takeaway? What did you learn? What was the thing you're going to try? Put it in there, tag myself, tag Caroline. We'll get in there, have a little conversation up there on LinkedIn and have a good time. Definitely check out the YouTube channel. And with that, Caroline, thank you so much again.
Thank you, Casey. I really appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Crazy cool, right? Another amazing episode of the Hardcore Marketing Show. We will see you all next time.